In the age of social media, quick outrage often replaces thoughtful understanding. A single image or video, taken out of context, can trigger an avalanche of criticism and judgment. It's become all too easy to assume we know the whole story just from what we see on a screen. That's exactly what happened when a photo of a Lamborghini parked in a disabled space surfaced online and went viral for all the wrong reasons. What started as a flurry of anger and assumptions quickly turned into a humbling lesson when the truth came out, and it silenced the internet. The incident took place in the UK, but it resonated worldwide, especially in places like the US, where car culture, disability rights, and social media outrage are equally potent forces. The car at the center of the controversy was no ordinary vehicle. It was a striking Lamborghini Huracán LP610-4, an Italian supercar with a six-figure price tag and an unmistakable presence. Finished in a glossy paint job, equipped with a bold aftermarket body kit, black alloy wheels, and fiery red calipers, it was the kind of car that turns heads anywhere it goes. Unfortunately, it also drew more attention than the owner probably expected when it was seen parked in a clearly marked disabled spot next to an access area for mobility aids. Soon after the photo was taken, it was uploaded to a local Facebook group called Spotted Torquay, with a caption dripping in sarcasm. "Have Lamborghinis, so will park however and wherever I like, even if that means depriving a disabled person of a space." The post immediately blew up. Within hours, it had amassed over 1,000 reactions and comments, most of them expressing anger and frustration. People were quick to judge, assuming the owner was just another wealthy, arrogant individual flaunting their privilege by abusing parking laws meant to help those with physical limitations. Some commenters claimed that someone who could afford a Lamborghini wouldn't care about a parking fine. Others accused the owner of deliberately parking in that spot to protect the expensive car from getting scratched or dinged. A few took the opportunity to complain about how tight parking spaces are in the UK, hinting that maybe even supercars are victims of bad urban planning. But the overwhelming tone of the comments was unmistakable. People believed this was a classic case of the rich behaving badly. Then came the plot twist that no one saw coming. The Lamborghini's owner saw the viral post and decided to respond, not with anger or defensiveness, but with humor and grace. He posted a photo of himself standing proudly next to the car, clearly displaying his blue badge, the UK's equivalent of a disabled parking permit, and in a gentle but powerful statement, revealed that he had 2 prosthetic legs. His caption? "A picture for all my fans." It was the kind of comeback that didn't need to yell to make a point. It was calm, dignified, and devastatingly effective. The reaction was swift. The same people who had been so quick to judge began to apologize. The administrator of the Facebook group issued a public apology, admitting the post was unfair and pointing out that the dashboard layout in some supercars makes it difficult to keep a disabled badge visible. It can slide around or be blocked from sight entirely. What had originally been presented as a symbol of entitlement was, in fact, an example of someone simply living their life, coping with challenges that weren't immediately visible. What made this moment resonate with so many was the way it shattered deeply rooted assumptions. The idea that a person with a disability couldn't possibly be the owner of a Lamborghini reflects a narrow view of both wealth and disability. It reveals a bias that assumes people with disabilities should look or live a certain way, and that luxury, success, or passion for cars is somehow off limits to them. In reality, disabilities come in many forms, and the people who live with them are as diverse, driven, and dynamic as anyone else. The story also opened the door for others to share their experiences. In the comments and on social media, people with invisible disabilities, those not immediately obvious to the outside world, talked about being confronted, judged, and even harassed for parking in disabled spots despite having valid permits. For many, It's a constant battle to justify their need for accessibility accommodations in a world that only believes what it can see. For American viewers, the message hits close to home. The U.S. has its own share of heated debates around disability rights, accessible parking abuse, and public shaming. This story, although set in the UK, feels universal. It's a reflection of how society still struggles to understand and accept that disability does not always come with a wheelchair or walking aid. Sometimes, it comes with a set of prosthetic legs and a supercar. In the end, what started as a moment of public shaming turned into a reminder that empathy and restraint are still very much needed, both online and off. We're all living increasingly public lives, often judged through the narrow lens of a single image or status update. But behind every car, every face, and every viral moment is a story that's far more complex than what a photo can tell. The man with the Lamborghini didn't just defend himself. He flipped the script with humor and authenticity, showing the world that not everything flashy is shallow, and not every assumption is fair. And maybe that's the takeaway here. It's time to stop judging people by what they drive, where they park, or how they look. Because until you've walked in their shoes, or driven in their lane, you don't really know the road they're on.